In this lesson, I want to introduce you to some syntax tips that we can use to make our code more readable and elegant. Now, VBA greatly helps us write our code. It already includes certain built-in features to make our code more likely to be readable. For example, VBA automatically inserts spaces between operators like the plus sign and the minus sign. VBA also auto-completes certain parts of the code for us, like the end sub keywords at the end of a procedure. VBA will also adjust, for example, the casing of letters in things like our method names and our procedure names to avoid any kind of issues with case sensitivity. VBA, of course, will also scan the code for errors and alert us whenever we run into any kind of technical, syntactical issue. So VBA is automatically helping us, but there are other things that we can do just to ensure that our code looks prettier and that it's a lot easier to read as well. I'm going to go ahead here and define a new procedure. I'm going to call it do stuff. And I'm just going to use this procedure to demonstrate a couple good habits and a couple bad habits when it comes to code. So in many programming languages, we have the concept of a semicolon, and a semicolon is typically used to break up or terminate a statement. And actually, VBA allows us to use semicolons in order to execute more than one statement on a single line. For example, I can do something like this: debug print, let's output the word hello. Then I can put a semicolon, and a semicolon almost acts like a line break because it terminates the code that comes beforehand. So it sort of says, this is the end of the code that I was just about to write. This is the end of the statement that I'm about to make. So we can go ahead after a semicolon and write a brand new command. So now we have two commands on a single line. With that said, this is not considered best practice. The first tip I have for you is that each VBA line should consist of one instruction or command. So whenever you want to put more than one command, break them up over multiple lines, and in general, avoid the semicolon. We don't need to put the semicolon because the line break will serve essentially as the end of the statement. VBA and the editor is able to parse that as the natural conclusion of our command. Here's another tip I have for you. Let me just go ahead and comment out the code. Many times, whenever we're writing something like a fully qualified reference, for example, referencing all of the parts of the Excel object model, we're going to run into a line of code that's very long. For example, let's say I have a value here in cell B. Let's just make it the letter B. And let's say I have a value here in, actually, let me move this up. Let's put a B in B1 and an A in A1. Let's say I want to move the value B into cell A1 with VBA code. So I could write something like this. This is going to take a little bit, but we're starting with application. We're referencing the first workbook in the workbooks collection. We're referencing the first worksheet. We're getting the range of A1. We're getting the value, and we want to set this equal to the value in cell B1. So what I can do is actually copy this entire code right here, paste it to the right, and make this work. So what we're doing here is we're taking the value from cell B1, getting it, and then, of course, making that the value in cell A1. Now, this is functional, but of course, this line becomes really difficult to read. So how can we break it up? Well, we can actually use the underscore to break up lines in VBA code. So for example, right here after the equal sign, I can put an underscore and a space. I can break this up, and when I execute this with F5, we can see that B has replaced the value in cell A1. So the macro has run as expected, which means that this is not leading to an error. So essentially what the underscore does is it tells the VBA parser that we're going to create a line break that's intentional and that it should continue parsing the line as if it's still on the same line. So it's going to read this thing on the right side of the equal sign as if it's written right here. It's just a little syntactical tip that we could use to break up things over more than one line. In fact, what we can also do is create a line break after an object reference. For example, if I were to drag this line back to the one above, so let's go ahead and remove this, drag this up. Right here, I created my line break right here, but I could actually do it right here after this dot. I can put a space and a underscore, move this to the next line. Let's just go ahead and change this back to H so that we can make sure everything's working. When I execute this, click in here, click F5, we can see that everything is working as expected. So we can create a line break actually in a wide variety of places. We can also create a line break, by the way, after the comma whenever we are entering multiple arguments to a method. That's a very effective use case. So I'm going to be using this sometimes throughout the course when I'm going to write a line that's going to be very long and I want to cut it down. What I can do is keep the logic but break it up over multiple lines by using the underscore. All right, let's go ahead and comment this code out. And there's one more tip I want to show you in this lesson. Sometimes we're going to be dealing with text that includes a double quote. There's just one problem. VBA uses the double quotes to mean something. It means the beginning and end of the string. So what do we do when we actually want to use double quotes within a string? For example, let's say I have a quote here like, Romeo said, I love you, Juliet. Let's say this is a string that we want to write into a cell. We're going to run into a problem here because we have a double quote here, and VBA is going to interpret that as the start of the string. But before it gets to this last one, what's going to happen is it's going to interpret this one as the end of this first string, and we're going to run into an error. So let's see if we can debug print this and see what happens here. Should run into an error here, so when I execute with F5, you can see variable is not defined. VBA is getting confused about what this means. So what do we do whenever we have to deal with quotes in our text? The first thing I want to do here is actually get out of this thing, which is called our error handling. Whenever you see this yellow, it just means that we're entering into a debugging mode. We can click this blue square to stop that and reset our code. So right here, let's just go back to what we used to have. I love you, Juliet. All right, so this is what we wanted to do. What we can actually do is we can use a second double quote before any other double quote that needs to be part of the string. It's sort of an escape character if you're familiar with that in other programming languages. But what I mean by that is we want to ignore this double quote. The way we do that is by putting another double quote before it. So VBA recognizes two double quotes in a row as sort of a sequence that it recognizes as a regular quote. So we're not going to run into an error. So we have to put one more double quote, and that's going to be right here. So this is going to be 3 in a row, but just as a review, these two are going to translate to a single double quote because 2 in a row indicates that VBA is going to escape the next one, so it's going to understand that it's part of the internals of the string. And finally, this one at the very end is actually going to end the main string that's being output by debug print. So if I execute this, there we go. Now everything's working. We just have an extra semicolon there somehow. Let's go ahead and try this again. Let's try this. F5. There we go. So now we can see Romeo said, I love you, Juliet is being output, including with the quotation marks that we have intentionally put there. We simply escaped them or avoided them causing an error by placing another quotation mark before them. That's the symbol that we use. That's all there is to cover in this lesson. We talked about using quotation marks, we talked about writing one statement per line only, and we talked about creating line breaks with the underscore character, which is probably going to be the most important tip that we learn here. I'm going to be using that a lot throughout the course. That's all there is to learn here though, so I'll see you in the next lesson.